Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you guys how to use a credit card the right way, and I promise you I'm going to be dropping a lot of valuable information that I guaranteed you have never heard anywhere else, because I promise you after watching this 5-minute tutorial or lesson or training, whatever you want to call it, you're going to learn more than you will ever have learned in a 4-year, chasing your bachelor's or getting your master's degree, because I work with lawyers, I work with so many doctors, nurses, and they are mind blown when I just explain something so simple like this, because again, no one teaches us this subject when it comes to credit. So let's say, for example, the first thing that you need to find out on your credit card is what your credit limit is. So I'm going to put CL here, and that stands for credit limit. And let's say your credit limit, for the simplicity of this video, is $1,000, okay? One thing that I do want to let you guys know is that credit cards are not intended to keep a balance. If you do keep a balance on your credit cards, you must make sure that it does not go over 10%. And don't worry, I'm going to visually break down everything so you guys can see you guys can hear and see what I'm explaining, okay? Now, again, the first step is to find out what your credit limit is, and in this case, your credit limit is $1,000. Now, you could not keep a balance more than 10% of your credit limit, or else your score is going to decrease. So 10% of $1,000 is $100. Now 20% of $1,000 is $200. 30% is $300, and so forth and so on. So I'll have a little chart here, and this is going to make a lot of sense, and I'm going to break it down for you. Now, remember how I mentioned, in order to not lose points, you cannot keep a balance higher than 10% of your overall credit limit, okay? So 10% of your credit limit, which your credit limit is $1,000, is $100. But let's say you keep a balance of $200, that equals 20%. And now at this point, your score is going to start to decrease. If you add more debt, you keep a balance on your credit card and add more debt, now your score is going to decrease. If you add another more debt, like 40%, your score is going to decrease and decrease and decrease. So I know that a lot of people don't know this, and don't get me wrong, credit cards are great to purchase things, but they're not meant for you to roll a balance a month after month after month. I don't want you guys to get confused and get discouraged from using your credit cards, because I highly encourage each and every one of you guys to put, even if it's 1 penny, keep using your credit cards on a daily balance. What I'm advocating is that rack up as much debt as you can on your credit card, but when your due date or your closing date comes, you pay that credit card completely off. So again, just a little quick recap. If you roll debt month after month and it keeps increasing, you're going to lose points based on how much you're utilizing your credit limit. So again, if month after month you keep adding debt and you're at 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, I mean, you're just going to continue losing points. And you can lose points anywhere from, I mean, I don't like to put a number because of the score bucket formula, but honestly, I've seen scores drop anywhere from like 40 to even 90 points just because you keep a balance on your credit card. So make sure that the right way to use a credit card is swipe that credit card, rack up as much debt as you possibly can or you can afford to, and then when your due date comes or your closing date, if you're that tedious and you're very disciplined and you track how much you're spending on it, pay it off completely. And again, rinse and repeat. Pay all your bills on it. Use your credit card for every purchase. Make sure you're getting every possible point or cash back or whatever point system whatever credit card you're using has a different point system. But make sure you're using your credit card. If you can max it out, great. And then guess what? Make the payment, pay it off completely in full. That's the proper way to use a credit card. So do not get fooled in leaving a balance on your credit card, because that's when you get into this horrible rat race that you can never get off, because you make the minimum payment, interest increases. You make the minimum payment, minimum payment, and you literally never can pay off your credit card. And then this is when a lot of people just feel overwhelmed. So again, use your credit card like a debit card. Don't spend what you don't have. And again, another thing that I want to let you guys know is that credit cards are not to go and buy those Jordans or the Louis Vuittons or go on a vacation that you cannot afford. Credit cards are just meant to honestly rack up points,